Welcome to SwillinGrog's wonderful world of beer. This time around, we're reviewing Hacker-Pschorr Anno 1417. 5.5% alcohol by volume, brewed and bottled by Hacker-Pschorr Bräu in Munich, Germany. Now, Mr. Benelzebub has joined me once again to review this Kellerbier, which is a rather rare German style that's essentially an unfiltered and unpasteurized lager that dates back to the Middle Ages, and it's pretty rich in vitamins too, I'm told.
Absolutely.
Alright, so...
Are they middle-aged vitamins? Or?
Yes, middle-aged vitamins. Apparently, they're the best.
Well, is that a bit like paleo?
I don't know. Alright, so as you can see, they come in a lovely 500ml brown swing top bottle, which we love to see. And they call for the use of a 500ml stein. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm really excited to be reviewing this. Yeah, it's, you know, one that I've really been looking forward to reviewing, as a matter of fact.
I noticed that you actually have 3 bottles of Hacker-Pschorr Anno 1417 there.
Yes, you did notice.
I think
I'm anticipating that you're going to be summoning somebody.
I think I might have to summon someone.
Alright, well, you go ahead and summon somebody.
Oops. Oops. I'm going to summon the Immortal Dean Weston!
No.
Guten Tag.
Mr. Dean Weston,
Mr.
have yourself a
Dean
bottle of
Weston.
Hacker-Pschorr Anno 1417
Dankeschön.
and a stein.
Oh, and a stein.
Indeed.
I must.
Alright, so, yeah.
It was a bit of a hard summon, that one.
Was he?
Yeah.
What the hell happened to your trident there?
Oh, it was just a very,
Yeah.
it was a very difficult summon, because he's immortal.
And
And
yeah, I had to go the long way because I was at the other end of the universe.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, good timing.
Yeah.
Beelzebub.
Alright, well, anyway, it's high time that we made an assessment of this. And, yeah, so that calls for...
Swing tops.
Yeah,
There's
so
a
swing
trick to
tops.
it. You push them like that, you pull them
Yes.
like that, and then nothing
You
happens.
notice that I just did it with
push it
one
like
thumb?
Yep.
Alright, so let's give this a nice pour.
Nice pour.
And remember that it's
Oops.
remember that it's
Get the swing top round the right way, by
remember
the way,
that it's unfiltered and unpasteurized.
It's all over my knee.
So when you get to about a third of the bottle left, give it a bit of a swirl.
Swelling.
Yeah.
Swelling.
Okay, got a little
Swirl
bit left
before
in
a
the bottle
swirl.
there.
A swirl before a swirl.
A swirl before a swill. Good advice. But I wouldn't expect anything less from the Immortal Mister Dean Weston.
I know a lot. Being immortal.
Being immortal, you've been around for a
I've
while.
been around for a while.
This man has been around for a while.
Alright, so let's make an assessment of the appearance. Well, it's a very hazy,
Very caramel.
well, caramel, like orange amber sort of appearance.
You'd almost expect a stoplight after this, wouldn't
A
you?
stoplight. Yes. It's got a very,
It's that amber.
yeah, got a very frothy off-white head. I mean, God, you've got more than 3 fingers of head there, in fact.
I've got.
Very tightly packed
what's
bubbles.
wrong with
What's wrong with you?
What did I do wrong?
The
Poured too
carbonate.
slowly, mate. You
Yeah.
weren't aggressive enough.
You weren't
Oh,
aggressive
right,
enough
okay,
in your
yeah,
pours.
this is,
Yeah.
yeah.
But,
Well, I suppose if you're being an immortal, you've just probably mellowed over that many
Yes,
you
years.
must have
yes,
mellowed.
I've calmed down a bit
Yeah.
in the millennium, yes.
but very tightly packed bubbles. I mean, it looks, you know, very nice.
Very tightly packed, very smooth foam. It's
Yeah.
creamy.
Creamy, indeed. Let me just top this up.
Okay.
All right. It's
A bit of
important
topping
that you
myself.
it's important that you try and get the whole bottle into the stein. All right.
And you'll see that 500ml steins are actually made slightly over 500ml, so you can fit the head in as well.
Look at that.
Oh, that's perfectos,
Yes,
which is an ancient Greek word for big head.
indeed. All right.
But Dean
So,
made that because he's immortal. He's been around that long.
all right. So we've talked about the appearance, which is quite an impressive one. So let's move on to the aroma, shall we?
Indeed, indubitably.
I won't try to snort it this time. All right, well it's
There is an aroma.
yeah, it's very bready. It's very yeasty. You know, I'm actually smelling like, you know, freshly baked bread.
I thought you were going to say
Bread.
festering baked bread.
No, not
but
festering baked bread. Freshly baked bread.
I think there's a lot of caramel in it. My nose picks
Yeah.
up a lot of caramel.
It is kind of caramelly.
But
There's
it's
a
not
faint
kind of
smell
caramel
of
malt. It's very
yeah.
sweet. Like maybe it's like one of those bagels that you've got a caramel sort of bake in it. You know, like
There's a
caramel
bit of
syrup.
grass in the background there. But,
No, I made the yard. I told you that before.
oh yes, that was yes.
Yeah.
You mowed
Freshly
the yard.
mown grass.
Yes.
That's, love that smell.
But yeah, I mean, you're predominantly bready, yeasty, malty sort of aroma. That's very
It reminds-
enticing.
I like enticing. It reminds me a bit of the Goliath. The Goliath was a bit more caramel and a bit more sweet.
Yeah.
But this actually has...
That was an English bitter. This is
one-
a Kellerbier.
A Keller. The word is Keller, and you were pronouncing it correctly. I was just doing that for the audience to say. Keller is a particular regional style, often associated with Oktoberfest beer, I believe. You'd be able to expand on that and even correct me when I'm wrong.
Not really. It's a lager, yes, but a very rare old style that dates back to the Middle Ages.
No, well, I can smell the Middle Ages in it.
I can.
Yes, yes.
I can actually see
Maybe the-
images of this fellow that's actually on the bottle.
I remember the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Well, you're immortal.
Yes, well, yes.
That's
And
it.
it is of the period. This is it.
That's it. That's period.
This is, yeah, this is it. Middle-aged.
All right. Well, we've talked about the appearance and the aroma, so it's time to move on to the most important part of the review, the taste test.
Taste test.
So
Are we going to have a guzzle?
we're going to have a guzzle. So
Well, just before we do that, I think just before we do that, we should invite a special guest up.
a special guest.
I would
Whoever
like-
could that be, Mr. Benelzebub?
I would like to invite Angie. Come on up, Angie.
Yes, Angie. Angie's the one that's done the costumes and makeup for many of the reviews that we've done
Come
in
and
the
sit.
past.
We need Angie in the centre, front and centre, Angie. Angie is our beautiful costume and makeup person, and for all her efforts today, we're going to present her with this amazing bottle of Puss's rum. It is actually pronounced Puss's. I've talked to several Navy people about this. This is British Navy rum, and it's traditionally brewed in the same way from the Caribbean islands.
Caribbean.
That's the one. Since the 1700s. Part of the proceeds, this is a little bit of expensive, this rum. It's also really strong.
What's the alcohol percentage on that one?
I
Mr.
haven't got my
Benelzebub?
glasses on, but it's part of
42%. 84 proof. My God.
and it has a cork. It has a cork.
And it's
that's-
waxed
oh,
as
it's
well.
real.
A waxed
Waxed
cap.
cork.
Yeah.
And so this is the real deal. Now, part of the proceeds of this goes to the British Navy veterans, not so much appeal or veterans fund, so that people who work in the British Navy who are injured in war, they get some of their pension fund out of this Puss's rum. Now, a pusser, in naval terms, I've got to be very careful about what I say here, is actually your ordinary sailor. Okay, so this is meant for...
I thought that was a dog's body.
Well, it's the word for it is pusser.
Oh, okay.
And so most of the time, the ordinary sailors never got to drink this because the officers, the captains and stuff would steal it off them and not give it to them. But this is traditional Navy rum. I know that Angie doesn't like many sweet things, so instead of getting, there's some really interesting spiced rums out there now, especially dark spiced rums, like the Kraken and the Captain Morgan Dark. But I think that this would suit Angie's palate the best. Thank you ever so much, Angie, for all the efforts that you've done and everything you've put in to help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön.
We were going to taste some beer, weren't we?
I believe that we were about to commence with the taste test.
Absolutely.
We're still in focus.
Lead on.
So Cheers to you, the audience. Let's dive in.
Here's to you, the audience.
Proust!
Proust, indeed. Oh, amazingly light for the thickness of it. Wow. It has been around since the Middle Ages.
Well, the taste does follow the nose again. It's very bready and very malty.
There's almost a citrus in there as well, isn't there?
Oh, a little bit of citrus.
Maybe a bit of lemon.
Yeah. But to me, it's almost like the Polena Salvatore. It's almost liquid bread. Almost.
I can
What
see
do
where
you
you're coming
think?
Yes,
The
I
Immortal
can do.
Dean,
Yes,
the Immortal
very
Mister Dean
smooth
Weston.
and light, unexpectedly light, and
It is rather unexpectedly light for the thickness of it. You
Quite
can see
easy.
how dense the beer is. You can see
it's
how
very cloudy
Yeah.
to look at, but doesn't doesn't taste like a stick.
So it goes down smooth. It's very smooth and creamy, I must say. I mean, the carbonation is fairly like low on it, so it's got a creamy sort of
yeah, the
feel to it.
carbonation is more like a British ale.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks good in the sunlight, the bubbles and everything.
Oh, it
Try
does
that.
too.
That's a great colour.
Yeah,
Sensation.
sensational. So here's to our studio
This
audience.
is the nectar of the gods.
Nectar of the gods. Benelzebub is a god.
I'm one of those.
Immortal Dean Weston is a god. We will have to promote you, Dave.
Oh, cheers to me.
Cheers! Proust. Here's to our audience. We have a wonderful audience here today. We are celebrating Oktoberfest on the very last day of Oktoberfest in the middle of spring. We have October birthdays from several of the people here, so it's an extra fun, absolutely wonderful beer review we're doing here with our wonderful studio audience that we're doing live out in the open air. So it's not really a studio after all, is it? So maybe I was lying, but then again I'm the devil, and the devil does that.
Yes, and some veterans of our previous beer reviews, Cowgirl Kelly and Little Running Innuendo, are actually in the audience. Yay!
Evil laughs all around.
And a bit
Alright.
more wobble. Oh.
Alright, so
Let's gulp. I think we should gulp.
let's have another guzzle.
It's actually very sessionable for... Sessionable is a big word for... You can drink a hell of a lot of it.
It'd make a great staple beer. Like, this is something that, would be nice to have in the fridge, for daily, like, drinking.
I think, every Friday afternoon, bosses should hand it out to the workers.
You got something.
You've got something there, Mr. Benelzebub. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to save the world, are you? What's happened to you?
Well, it's certainly very drinkable and, very sessionable.
It can't be
too,
that drinkable. You got heaps of it. Look, that's drinkable.
That is drinkable.
Hey,
Give me time, says Dave. Give me time. Now I'm convinced.
alright. Well, it's lacing it's lacing the glass quite nicely too.
Yeah. In a way, it's interesting to note that the previous beer we just reviewed was called the King of Beers. But when you come to the fullness of flavour and absolute drinkability of something like this, which looks like it's a very thick beer, but on a hot summer day, it's actually going down really well. This could actually top it for the King of Beers title, I think.
It very well could. I mean, as time goes by, I'm sort of preferring, the beers that are, unfiltered and unpasteurised, that have got a fuller kind of flavour. Yeah.
How do you think the Immortal Dean Weston?
This will go well tonight. How many you got?
That's it.
That's it.
Yes, that's what that does bring us to the one.
Yes.
We talked about the pros, but let's talk about the cons. Yes, this is a very expensive brew and very difficult to procure, sadly.
Just
I mean, if you're in if you're in Munich, Bavaria, it'd be a different story. But sadly, here in Australia, it's not the case. It cost me an arm and a leg. But
Well, Dean's immortal. He could probably walk over there and grab us a couple of cans and walk back.
yeah, I think you should do it after the review. I think you should do
I'll
that.
sort it out, but you can't see me do it now. I don't want to give away the secret.
Oh, no, they can't. We wouldn't be gods if you could see what we did,
Absolutely. Mystical.
Mystical. It has to be mystical.
Anyway, I think it's time that we wrap this up. Had one last
Just
gulp.
one little other point about the whole thing. We are actually having a wonderful Oktoberfest celebration here today, folks. We have a little stage. We've actually managed to manufacture a stage. We have the Bavarian flag colours on the stage bottom, as you may see or may not. Probably you will. We have a main wall hanging of the Bavarian colours. We have balloons that the kids have done a marvellous job of stringing up for us and blowing up. Well, they blew them up first, then they strung them up. We have the colours of the German flag of black, gold and red.
You'll have to watch the behind the scenes special to
You
see
will
all
need
that.
to watch the behind the scenes
DVD
special.
That's just being shot by the cameraman, or the camera person,
Yeah.
right over there.
We got to be careful about
Yes.
politically correct.
Politically correct.
So we have the Bavarian flag colours, we have the German flag colours. We also have a bunch of food which you guys unfortunately won't be able to experience, but we will show you lots of pictures so you get really jealous of German food that we've kind of improvised because we're not in Germany, we just don't understand completely, we can't even speak the language, type of shit. And so we have more sausages than you can poke a stick at. We have knackwurst, we have bratwurst, we have another kind of bratwurst, we have frankfurts, we have cheese kranskis, we have mini cheese kranskis, we have pepperoni, wood smoked cabanas, we have black forest ham, we have schnitzels, we have sauerkraut, we have red cabbage, we have stuff. This is going to be a really wonderful Oktoberfest, and I'm really proud and happy to see all our wonderful friends here, those who have supported the beer reviews before and those who are going to just enjoy every beer review we do because they are. But you will see some behind the scenes stuff, and we hope that you can share in the event that is the wonderful world of beer.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world of beer.
Oh yeah!
Hey.
Proust!
Proust! Alright, so I think it's high time we actually gave this a score out of 10. I myself would be happy to give this a 10 out of 10. It's a very solid brew. I can't fault it flavour-wise. It does blow my mind. I mean, I'm very big on the malty brews, and this to me is like liquid bread, so yeah. A 10 out of 10 is what it deserves.
Well, see, the thing is, because I'm the devil, and I encourage people into the dark arts like numerology. If you add up Anno 1417, you add up 1 and 4, then 1 and 7, it comes to 13. So I'm going to give it a score of 13 out of 10.
13 out of 10. Well, that's unprecedented, folks. A 13 out of 10. And where is the Immortal Mister Dean Weston? He seems to have vanished.
Being immortal, he's in several different planes.
I hope he's off to Munich, Bavaria to get us some more of this beer.
I think he is.
Yeah?
The last thing I heard from him was like, which,
wow.
it's kind of what you hear when people go through those, wormholes and stuff.
Not like kind of monkey where he goes and summons his cloud.
No.
No?
No.
You know.
Ah!
I had a really good time in Munchen.
Did you have a really good time?
These were awesome.
Did you meet some Fräuleins?
Yes, I did meet some, and we had a good time.
Yeah.
Yes, good times we had,
Yeah.
and many more.
Yeah.
I'll give it a score.
Dean must give it a score. Dean must give it a score.
I'll give it a mortal score. I've got to leave room for improvement because I've got to live for a long time, so there'll be many more.
That's a fair enough comment.
Yeah, so
that's a fair
9.
9?
9.
Okay.
Solid 9.
So we got 10, we got 13, we got 9. That's
While he's thinking.
That's a 14. It averages to 14.
How?
Hang on, let me do the calculation again. You got a 10. You got a 10. And what did I give? A 13?
More like 11 or something.
No, hang on. 1 and 4 is 5. 1 and 5 is 6. 7 and 6 is 13. 13 and 10 is 23. 23 and 9 is 32. 32 divided by 3 is 1. 2, 3 sevens, 23 sixes are 18. Oh, 10, 0, 6, 3 recurring. 10, 0, 6, 3 recurring.
Okay, well that's a pretty damn good score.
Okay.
That's a good score. Over 10.
Yeah, 10, 0, 6, 3 recurring. Ha ha! We averaged. Thank you, Mr. Dean. The Immortal Mister Dean Weston.
The Immortal Mister Dean Weston.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I don't think you guys like this beer as much as I do.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Alright, well thanks for joining us, folks.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Thanks for joining us, folks. That does bring us to the end of yet another SwillinGrog beer review. So yeah, we're just going to kick back and swill a lot of grog.
We have other Oktoberfest beers to drink. We have some Polena Oktoberfest. We have
oh yes, the Hacker-Pschorr Oktoberfest.
Yeah. Though these have been reviewed before, so we're not going to do this in the review. But we're going to enjoy these right now, along with some extraordinary, excellent food that some of the wonderful crew here have been preparing for us.
Alright, so yeah, like I said, thanks for joining us, and until next time,
Proust!
fare thee well, all.
Absolutely.